Hey everybody! Today I'm going to talk about my top 10 best movies of 2016. Now, this is based off of my own opinion and of movies that I saw in 2016. So, it may not be the same as your list, but this is my top 10 list.
Number 10.
For my number 10, I chose Finding Dory. Now, I really liked Ellen in Finding Nemo, and she was just as good in Finding Dory. And one of the things I was worried about when it came out is if it was going to be just a sequel to Finding Nemo instead of her own movie. Since they called it Finding Dory, it should be her own movie. And I was happy that they had their own side characters, new side characters that weren't in Finding Nemo. They had some cameos, and you had Nemo and his father, but for the most part, all of the side characters were brand new for Dory's story. And baby Dory is just adorable. I mean, you can't help it. But I had a lot of fun with this movie. I liked it.
Number 9.
So my number 9 choice is going to be Doctor Strange. I really liked this movie. I didn't get it higher up on my list just because some of the action scenes I didn't think were filmed very well. Too much shaky cam and quick cuts. But Benedict Cumberbatch was great as Doctor Strange. I liked the whole magic aspect. It brought magic into the MCU. It was very different than a lot of the MCU movies. So it felt like a fresh injection of new stuff for the MCU, and I'm excited to see what they come up with for the rest of the movies and where Doctor Strange is going to go in the future of the MCU.
Number 8.
So my number 8 choice is going to be Captain America Civil War. I really like this movie too, but I didn't put it higher up on my list because I thought the villain had too complicated of a plan, and it seemed odd that it actually worked out. There were so many things that could have gone wrong with his plan and it didn't work. It was kind of far-fetched in a way. But the motivations of the characters were great. You were very clear-cut on which side and why they were on those sides. There wasn't any lasting negative things that happened, but Spider-Man. I mean, what can you say? Is Spider-Man the best Spider-Man we got, and he was only at the end of the movie?
Number 7.
My number 7 is going to be a Hindi movie called Fan with Shah Rukh Khan. This movie pretty much surprised me. I thought they spent a little too much time and probably money in the CG to make Shah Rukh Khan look smaller. I think there's probably an easier way of doing that, but you did get a great performance from Shah Rukh Khan out of this. I mean, he was so creepy as the obsessed fan. I thought his other character where he played himself wasn't as good. He was basically playing himself, only an exaggerated version. More of a not as nice as he would be in real life. But the crazy fan, the one that you see in this poster, he did such a good job as that character. It blew me away.
Number 6.
So my number 6 choice is going to be Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Now, I think a lot of people would assume I'd put this higher up on my list because I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and Darth Vader's scene at the end is epic and awesome. I love that. But most of the characters, even though I liked them a lot, you didn't get too much characterization with them, so the fact that they died at the end wasn't as emotional as I thought it should be. It was almost like not quite a throwaway character, but enough to where you're like, eh. But I would like to see some of those characters in other things. Like, I would love to see Donnie Yen's character maybe in another anthology movie that took place before Rogue One. But some of the other characters, I liked them, but I didn't really care if they died. It was more of I just enjoyed the story.
Number 5.
So my number 5 choice is going to be Zootopia. I loved this movie a lot more than I thought I would. And I think there was probably because there was so much social commentary in there, talking about sexism and racism and the workplace. And there was so much in there that when you watch it, anybody for any generation would get something different. And it's one of those movies you could watch as a kid and appreciate the cute animals and the pretty colors and the action stuff. And then when you became a teenager, you'd rewatch it and be like, oh, whoa, I didn't notice that. And then as an adult with your own kids, you could watch it again and get something else out of it. So it's one of those movies that you could watch throughout your whole life and get different things. So I really loved it.
Number 4.
My number 4 choice is going to be 10 Cloverfield Lane. This movie came out of nowhere and super surprised me. One of John Goodman's best performances. It was gripping and suspenseful through the whole movie. It pulled me in and had me the whole time. I loved it. Even the ending that was a bit sci-fi and felt like it was thrown on just to connect it to Cloverfield, I still didn't mind it. It made it for an interesting twist that I probably would have liked even if it wasn't connected to Cloverfield.
Number 3.
My number 3 choice is going to be Swiss Army Man. What a great movie. Only 2 characters, and one of them's dead, but held me the whole time. And Daniel Radcliffe, an amazing job acting as a dead guy. It was great, and I loved their relationship. Now, there were too many fart jokes, I think, but I didn't mind that. My 15-year-old brain enjoyed that part. But they probably did maybe two fart jokes too many. But I liked the whole quirkiness. It was very original. You didn't see very many movies come out this year that were different than a superhero movie. So I fully enjoyed this one.
Number 2.
My number 2 movie might surprise you, for a lot of my fans would know that I absolutely love this movie. It's going to make you wonder what my number 1 is. My number 2 is Deadpool. Perfect. Awesome movie. I've watched it maybe 6 times this year. Hilarious. Action was good. Breaking the fourth wall. Close to the comic books. Probably the most faithful adaptation for a comic book ever. And Ryan Reynolds killed it. Man, he was born to play Deadpool. And I'm super excited for Deadpool 2. I think it's going to be one of those sequels that are as good as the first one, which is very unusual.
Number 1.
My number 1 movie might actually surprise a lot of you, but it was The Nice Guys. Shane Black and Gory Rice was great, the daughter. She fit so perfect with the rest of them. Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling had amazing chemistry together. I would love to see them in more movies. But another one of those movies that wasn't the same, it wasn't like everything else that was coming out. Didn't have a gigantic budget, but the humor was on point. The action was on point. The story just grabbed me and kept me the whole time. And I loved the period piece of the 1970s with the costumes and the production design. Everything in the background made you feel like it was the 70s. I love this movie. I want to get it on Blu-ray, and I'll probably watch it multiple times. But that's my favorite movie of 2016. That's my top 10 best movies, my favorite movies for 2016. Comment below and let me know what your top 10 is. What was your favorite movies of 2016? You can also hit the notification bell if you want to get updates for videos coming in the future. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you on the next video.